What's going on, everyone? Today I'm here with the new Traxxas 2021 TRX4 Bronco. There are some new updates other than just the style of this body. So we're gonna go over all of the differences of this, overview the TRX4 platform quickly, and then get to some running footage, getting this out on the rocks. So let's first jump into the big part, which is the new 2021 Bronco body. Now, of course, this is the four-door version. Up to this point, we haven't seen a proper 2021 style Bronco body on a hobby grade RC, but they did a fantastic job on this body with nice molded details like this front cowl and mirror combo. The mirror is attached to this hard molded piece that also forms the cowl all the way across the front side of the windshield here, as well as integrates in the mounts for those windshield wipers. Now, there are several other molded details, including these kind of hood sights that sit here up on the leading edge of the front fenders, and then just a beautifully molded front grille and light bezel. Now, this is set up for LED, but it does appear that it is going to take a very specific LED kit for this body, as it does have just the almost exact OEM design to those front lights. Looks great. The whole grille just fantastic. Now, the front bumper, of course, is mounted to the chassis just like any of the other options in the TRX4 line, but it does fit perfectly to this body. It's very specifically molded. It does have an additional piece that comes out even further than the standard bumper, and that holds this kind of faux winch and a bull bar, as well as this new fair lead up front. Now, like I said, that is a separate piece, and it does appear that it is separately removable. So if you want to increase your approach angle, get rid of that piece that sticks out even further. You're not necessarily worried about being able to mount a winch up front like the new Pro Scale winch that Traxxas offered. Then you could remove this piece, increase your performance a little bit further. Now, that front bumper also has a skid plate that extends down underneath of the front bumper, very similar to how the OEM is set up. Now, if you're just looking at this and comparing it to a full-size Bronco like this doesn't have solid axles, definitely doesn't have portal axles, but it's got an IFS. Now, that front skid plate that extends underneath, as far as if you're taking photos or things like that, it may help to hide the fact that this has a solid axle swap rather than an IFS like the real one. But in general, it's just a large kind of deflector that sits under there. If you're super worried about performance, while this one doesn't appear to have any hard lips or edges, it may help deflect. At the same time, it may help even more to remove that separate piece and increase your clearance, less things to hit on, may just give you a little bit more performance. And again, all of those things, while they make the look of this truck look fantastic, you may be able to help improve. Now, as far as some of the other body details, the fender flares on this, they're this black matte finish, also hard molded plastic. So a little bit more durable than just a normal Lexan with a different color or a sticker on it, actual hard molded details. We also have molded door handles on all four doors. And then on the rear, we've got a functional spare tire, as well as these taillight buckets. Again, styled just like the OEM, ready for very specific LEDs, it appears. We also have plastic molded door handle on that rear hatch. And again, a rear molded bumper, very specifically designed to fit the body and look exactly like the stock. The spare tire is actually held on by a different style than just a normal wheel nut that you see on the rest of the vehicle. It's kind of just dressed up a little bit so it looks more aesthetically pleasing than just a regular stub axle and wheel nut. Just a simple little detail that they added to try and make it look as good as possible. If you're performance minded, you could remove it, get rid of that weight in the rear, but it looks pretty fitting. Oftentimes, spare wheels on the back side of vehicles look way too big, but this one, not bad at all. Now, the windows of this body may look black. That's partially just the camera. These are clear windows with a tinted decal over top of them. You can actually see into the vehicle, so no more fully painted windows. We've seen this update on several of the other Traxxas models that have released after the fact, and this just going to allow you, if you wanted to add interior details, looks a little bit better. Now, as far as wheel and tires go, we've got the Canyon tires from Traxxas. We've seen these on almost all of the TRX4 releases to this point. We do have a new set of wheels. These are a gloss black molded plastic wheel. However, the biggest feature of this body, I feel, is their new clipless body mounting system. To remove the body, you reach into the fender wells and you feel for the new clip design. Now, it says clipless and they mean standard body clip. This actually has a new design of plastic molded parts where you just feel and kind of push them in and the body snaps upwards. Once you've released all 4 of the tabs, you can pull this off. And it's just a beautiful body mounting system. It's extremely easy to take on and off. It feels natural and just, it's got a secure snap into place. When you go to replace it, you just line it up over the chassis and just push down. And it's in place and you can lift the whole vehicle up by it. But great design. To facilitate that design though, they did have to build in this structure around the inside of the body. Now it's not a roll cage, but it is tubular and it runs the entire perimeter of the interior of the body. And then in between that tubular structure, you'll see these mounts front and rear. And that is what comprises of the actual clipping mechanism that locks into the chassis side. Now, taking advantage of that structure also, you've got some braces in the front and rear of the body here, and that's what holds in some of the details like that spare tire mounting system, the rear tail lights, the front grille, and the front headlights. Other details like that molded cowl, all of the door handle setups, and those outer fender flares also tie in some way as well. So this whole body is just very rigid. All of that structure obviously adds up to some mass. The spare tire feels like it adds more than anything though. So if you're really worried about it, that is something that you could remove. Underneath of the Bronco body, we've got the same TRX4 platform that we've seen previously. Now, this body does use the 12.8 wheelbase set from Traxxas. Again, we've seen this on the TRX4 Defender as well as the Tactical. Now, this does also have the locking and unlocking differential sets, and we have the Traxxas 2-speed transmission. The motor, ESC, and all of the servos are the exact same as we've seen from the outset from Traxxas. While these inner fenders may look very familiar, they are different. They actually have the receptacles for the clipless body mounting system that we have on this new body. There's 4 pockets, 1 on each corner, and that's what allows you to clip that body into place. Other than those details we just went over, this is the TRX4 we all know. So let's get this thing out on the rocks and see how it does.